reputation of the court is that this is an edifice with authority, then you have to respect yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I will move to the next issue, which I think flows from the discussion on the infrastructure of the court. This time, we are looking at the residential quarters of judicial staff. So many years ago, when some of us started practice, there were residential quarters for judicial officers, not just in Warri, but in almost every local government headquarters in Delta State. But most of those quarters have now been trespassed upon by individuals, some strong individuals. Some of them have been taken by politicians, and we have situations now where some judges live in rented apartments, or magistrates live in rented apartments, and the rest of it. What is your view about that? And is there any plan in your program to remedy the situation?
Yes, ignorance is a very, very bad thing. Ignorance is a crime in a sense. When we were young in this very Delta State, you used to have quotas for judges. We used to have quotas also for teachers, quotas for civil servants. Those were the perks of office. But over the years, for whatever reason I don't know, I also have been asking myself this question: what happened to the sense of belonging that we used to have as a government? I have seen that the type of government we had when we were children and what we have today is like night and day. That's why even in our program, we are conscious of this fact, that there is need not only to enhance the take-home pay of public officers, that includes judges, but there must be other perks of office, like accommodation for them, special areas reserved for judges in Delta State. I don't think it's a crime. I actually think it adds to the impetus and to the integrity and the respect that our judicial officers will have. So, if you're asking me, we must develop the culture of giving good, adequate housing to our public officers, including judges, including magistrates, to make them have that environment in which they are able to offer their very best to our society. We're asking people to be judges and they're living in rented rooms, and then they're being challenged every day because of the high cost of rent. They are not even able to afford rents in the brown areas in society. They have to stay in the same squalor which the masses stay, which is not right. The environment in which you live, the environment in which you work will affect your output. If you want the best for the judges, you must put them in an environment that is serene, that is able to add value to their human integrity, to their human person, and to be able to make them dispense with justice, be able to make them do that which we ask them to do. But there is something I've also thought of in Delta State. I've been toying with this idea. Shouldn't we have a judicial capital in Delta State? Maybe one of our cities, maybe only for instance, should be judicial capital of Delta State, so that we may eventually get to a situation where, don't be surprised that the states are going to have their own Supreme Courts. Maybe we'll have to develop a lot of infrastructures, a lot of, how will I say? What I'm trying to say is, use the judicial institution in a very particular environment, and then to put in place all those things that they require, all those things that they need, including housing, including libraries, including all that they need to be able to function properly, adequately for us, to serve the state, to serve the people with an open mind, with a clear head, a clear conscience, daily. I don't know how that will sound, but frankly, I think it will be a very great idea if today, if you mention judiciary in Delta State, they say, oh, yes, the judiciary is, if you did the judicial capital of Delta State is this town, and all the senior judges are there. All you have the paraphernalia of all the courts will be there, and of course, the environment to befit the judges, the environment to befit the courts, the environment to befit that same society. But that's such that when you walk in here, you will know that the people, this environment is made up of learned people. The environment speaks for itself. And then when you see our judges, or when you see our magistrates, or when you see our judicial officers, you will accord them the necessary respect. The environment in which you live also has an effect on the type of person and the type of presence you portray.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Now, the judiciary as an institution cannot speak for itself. Most times, it relies on the Nigerian Bar Association to speak for it, and we do that as much as we can. However, that responsibility comes with a risk factor, because in speaking for the judiciary, we invariably incur the wrath of the executive, and we are labeled as radicals or stubborn or enemies of the government. How would you relate with the Nigerian Bar Association as the executive governor of Delta State?
Thank you very much. In every situation, there's something you call an occupational hazard. Occupational hazard is such that sometimes you have to incur the wrath of the executive because you have held a position. But you need not fear if you know that what you're advocating for is the right thing. We can have a governor who is excessive, who is tyrannical, but it does not change the fact that what is right, what is fit and proper must be done. How will I engage the Bar Association? I will want to encourage them to be fearless. I want to encourage them to speak to power. I want to encourage them to be able to engage government on behalf of the judiciary, on behalf of the judges and the magistrates constructively. I want to have a listening ear all the time. And of course, you know that every government has an attorney general. The attorney general must interface, and we will not want an attorney general who will be a yes man. We want an attorney general who will be able to defend the rights of the people of Delta State, who will be able to defend not only the ordinary citizen, but of course their colleagues or their peers who are in public service, who are in private service. This is the kind of society I'm looking at. And attorney general who is a yes man is a disservice to the society. It's an aberration, and I actually think, frankly, it's not fit to hold office because the throne is established in righteousness. And if you must administer justice in society, then it must be without fear or favor. You must do it to the best of your ability, with a clear conscience and a clear mind.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Now, I will take you on one issue. And this is the issue because we are in an era where information technology controls everything we do, from our homes to our offices and now our professions. You will agree with me, sir, that the judiciary is not on top of its game in the area of ICT right now. And that is because the judiciary is not in control of its finances. It requires the support of the executive to be able to finance certain things that will make it ICT compliant. As governor of Delta State, what will you do to ensure that the judiciary of Delta State is dragged out of the Stone Age into the era of ICT as we see other states operating in right now?
Well, that, in my view, is a matter of semantics, actually. If we are talking about judicial autonomy, first line charge, on the revenue account, it presupposes that the judiciary has the type of resources it needs to be able to do what it wants to do. If it is the quest or the desire of the judiciary to be ICT compliant and to have all our courts and all our offices, ICT compliant, then if the resources are there, what will be stopping you? The job of the governor is to make sure that you obey the laws and to make sure that what is due to the judiciary is not tampered with at all. And I believe that if the judiciary is given its own resources to manage its affairs, one of the first things that they will do will make sure that all the courts are ICT compliant. And I would be encouraging them in any case. If they told me that the resources were inadequate, then I will take an extra step, if that's what you need. But if we are giving you what you need, and what you need is sufficient to do the job, I think the initiative on what to do must be yours, not mine.
It's all right. Thank you very much. I'm going to take you back to an issue I raised before, and that has to do with the issue of the quotas for judicial staff and the rest of it. You mentioned you told us your plan, which I think is quite noble, and I'm sure that those of our members who are noting down things that have been said have noted that plan, because for me, I think it's quite noble of building a kind of judicial hub where everything will come together. But the follow-up question I'd like to ask in that area is this: what of the land we have lost? The land grabbers have grabbed, politicians have taken. Are we going to let them go? Do we take them back? Will they be replaced? What happens?
Well, you see, we must be forward-looking. If the land belongs to the government and the government sold it, what are you going to do? If the land you're talking of now, if their lands acquired illegally, then you will recover them. But if they have been given out lawfully, the cost of retrieving them might be much more than the land itself. So we have to balance what we want at that point in time. Having said that, I think we have enough land to be able to build the type of environment we want for our judiciary, both for its courts and for its quotas. Like I said, why not try somewhere like Warri? Why not? So I will not be looking at recovering land unless it was taken illegally. If it was given out lawfully, there's nothing we can do about it.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I think with that, we can close out our interactive session with you, sir. We thank you for coming, but before we allow you to go, sir, we will take one or two questions from our audience here, just one or two, so that you can meet up with your program, because we are conscious of time, and that's why we have to, cut it like this. Now, is there any member of the bar in the audience who has a question not covered yet, and that falls within the area we are looking at to ask? Is there any person from this side? Anybody? All right. Yeah, is there a hand up there? All right. I think, Chief, you have covered the ground, and I believe that our members are satisfied with your responses. On behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association, let me appreciate you for for honoring us with your presence. The notice to you, as to all other candidates who are going to be here, there are a few already around who will have interacted with you together, but because of your own peculiar program, we had to take you first. We want to appreciate you for coming, sir, and we will not take this lightly. I will call on.
Well, let me add that in addition to all I said before, I have also felt that judicial officers should be incentivized when they have sensitive matters like election petitions. You see, some of the problems we have had in time past with perverse judgments is because of the inadequate incentive to do the right thing. So, as governor of this state, one thing I will do is to make sure that if any of our judges are going on an assignment to run election petition, there will be a special package to make sure that when they go there, they will deliver justice and come back home proud that they did the job according to law. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we can give a round of applause to our guests. Before we go, I will call on the vice chairman, past chairman, our senior here, just who be walking while you were talking in New Trofano way, Eric Omari, Augustine Ajine, and the secretary of the branch, SG. Yes, SG, yes, I know you will know Ajine. He was one of your lawyers. Please come, let's have a group photograph with our guests. Maxwell, join us. You have worked so hard. I think you should be part of this group. Yes. Sorry, you are sitting behind. I brought this in past chairman of the branch. In fact, the most senior past chairman of the branch here present, Mr. Ben Oji. Just hold on a moment. I just noticed that a very senior member of the bar is still seated there. Mrs. Otopano, please come forward. I think probably the most senior female member of the bar around now. Wife. Yeah, take him out. Problem with him out is not properly dressed, but I will not tolerate him because of you, sir. Take him out, come. He knows, but they have worked so hard to see that he is appearing as a politician, not as a lawyer. Okay, what this is right now? Okuda, please join us. You are from your full branch to represent the all the officers of the branch who are here. All branch officers, where is the treasurer? You don't want us to somebody to say because you did not allow me enter photograph with Shiboboro, I will not release funds. Please come. We'll take a break for 5 minutes while we see Chief Ogboro off, then we'll come back and continue.
Try to get it in now. It's your stage. That was very dynamic. Hey, my brother.